penises.
We are now officially recording Banana Kingdom episode. I always get this wrong. 4?
4 now, yeah.
4, yes. And we're joined by
Steve Dorian.
I was waiting for you.
Nice to meet you, all.
I was waiting for you to say your name, Steve. That was like
that was your intro.
Yeah, what the hell?
I think I warrant a separate intro.
No.
Do I not deserve
No.
my own fanfare?
No.
Like with your
Yeah,
own
fair
theme
enough.
music and we're gonna cut
Yeah,
that in.
yeah.
But this is done like
You
all
will
off.
have put in the theme music when you said my name.
No, we
Okay.
are so
Shit.
fucking lazy. We're not going to edit this.
No, we're not gonna. No, we don't do any of that.
No.
But it's a nice idea. But funny enough, I was talking to a few of our fans, and I just did what are those called? Quotations.
Shares
Yeah.
are killing, getting it.
To make it
Air quotes.
to highlight the sarcasm in my voice. A few people said that they would like to hear some sort of intro to each episode of Banana Kingdom, John. So, what do you think about that? Because personally, I could say, if you're listening and you're like, wow, yeah, I would like to hear an intro, I'd say, why don't you go suck my dick? I'm fucking doing any of that shit.
You know, I like just, you know, but just in regards to the intro, I just want to say, fuck you!
Yeah, boy. Shit.
Well, why don't you just come up with one now on the spot? Like collaboratively.
You demand
Okay.
so much of us.
Yeah.
I was expecting a high production value.
And look what you got.
Yeah.
This is Banana Kingdom, okay?
Steven isn't even wearing pants right now.
Fuck it. That's the way we roll.
I got cargo shorts. Okay, it's kind of, yeah.
You look like every stereotypical American morning DJ.
Oh, shit.
Wow, he's got you there.
That hurts. That's right. It's right here in the heart. Yeah, I do look like that. I got a Hawaiian shirt. I got my cargo shorts.
That should be your intro. You should introduce it like, welcome to Steve King in the Banana Kingdom, 28.7.
And like whistles and shit going off
Yeah.
in the distance. Okay.
There's your intro.
My
just
intro
take that clip.
is hello, welcome to Banana Kingdom episode 4. I'm Stephen King. Go fuck yourself, boy. Yeah, you fucking listen to this shit.
I personally like Kings better. Steve, one of the main, actually, just to avoid confusion from now on, was the two of you have the same names. I'm just going to refer to my co-host as King and you as Steve.
Because
So,
I'm king.
yes. So
I'm
no,
willing to accept that.
no, Steve. Just to just here, we to be honest, we never really like to have a script planned out for each episode. Just like to have a kind of free flow. But I guess, sort of, if anything, I'd love to have as an outline for this episode would definitely be looking at animation. You know, like myself and King are huge fans of animation, and you yourself are an animator. You have your own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't actually know that much about animation.
Wow, holy shit, Steve.
You
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
You do.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, Lemony Fresh on YouTube. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, where I'm a lot more active,
Yeah.
it's just Lemony Fresh Twit.
I will give you this, and I'm not just saying this because you're a guest on our show, and I gotta big you up.
Or your friend or anything.
No, that doesn't matter. No. Well, what I was gonna say was your tweets on the Twitter are pretty fucking funny. All right, I'll give you that.
That's where a lot of my tweets usually are.
Yeah?
On the Twitter.
On the Twitter
Yeah.
machine. Okay. But yeah, they're pretty funny, so I'll give you that.
Steve, just here's a good question I want to start off by asking you, right? Has animation ever been this good or this bad? Seriously, I mean, just like when you look at just over the overall content that's being produced at the moment, you've like...
Are you talking about like films, TV shows?
Oh, no, just all around, right? Just all around, because like if you look at, for example, you have Rick and Morty right now, which in my opinion is one of the best animated series I've ever seen. At the same time, you have like Family Guy, American Dad, which is just completely fallen off the cliff. Is just so unfunny, so painful now to watch.
Yeah.
It's completely out of touch, it seems, with the sort of its fan base that got it so large. You know, The Simpsons has been so bad now for easily 20 years, nearly now 15 years, sorry. So like his animation, like even though it's kind of on both extremes, I find you have some really, really high quality, great animation, especially on YouTube as well. So, you know, some independent. Like I watch, I can't think of his full name. It's Harry
Partridge.
Yes, Harry Partridge is absolutely fantastic content. He does like space barbarians, and he's done just so many other like fire stuff in the past, like the Skyrim songs. So you see like all these fantastic independent animators doing some great content, some great shows, but at the same time some bad shows. So like, what's your take on the whole sort of overall animation scene at the moment?
Well, yeah, it's really just like anything else on TV. With your examples of Simpsons and Family Guy compared to Rick and Morty, that's all down to the writing. Like they could be in live action and they'd still be of the same quality.
But the creators of both shows are they came up with the designs, right? And like the animation style. It's not, so like not strictly just
yes,
sort of like,
I'm not
yeah.
saying that animation doesn't contribute
okay.
to how successful or unsuccessful the show is.
But the structure is clearly like the writing. Is that what you're saying?
the writing is with anything else a very important factor.
Okay.
But no, I think it's a magnificent time for animation right now. Like if you look YouTube, lots of things growing on. Everything's a bit stagnated at the moment because YouTube's fucked up at the moment.
In what regard, sorry?
You cannot make money anymore unless you're putting out 12 video game Let's Plays a day.
Really?
You're not making money.
Why is that?
It's because a few years back, the algorithm in which YouTube pays changed. It was originally they would give you...
It went from views to minutes, yeah.
They would give you so many cents or percentage of a cent per view.
Mm-hmm.
But then a lot of people started scamming that by like uploading those, whatchamacallums, react videos and videos with boobs in the thumbnail and everything just to get people in.
Clickbait.
And like once they
Got
opened the video, they got the view and
Holy
they got the money.
fuck.
So YouTube needed to change that. So they changed
I never knew that.
They changed it to watch time.
Okay.
So that it depends on how long the people watch it and how long they're engaged with your content, the more you get paid.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
So, with this, let me ask you this then. So, in terms of, say, let's take, for example, like, which I think is the best podcaster at the minute right now, Joe Rogan, okay? So, each one of his episodes are like 4 hours long. And, like, it gets, say, on average, I'd say about 200,000 views a show. And most of those people would probably watch the whole thing or listen to the whole thing. So, like, would he
so
get...
he gets
like,
the full amount he could have possibly gotten.
Okay.
So that's mad, yeah, to think. And also, like, as well, don't forget something like ad blocker, for example. Like many YouTubers I've seen comment on sort of ad blocker and how that has affected the revenue, because as a result of that there, no ads played during any of their videos. Like, I watched Joe Rogan, and I've never seen a single ad because I use ad blocker.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm like eliminating any revenue that could be sort of going towards those YouTubers.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm in the wrong there, but like, I just found it so annoying, the constant advertisements to be getting online.
Ad blocker is like one of the greatest things ever invented.
Oh, yeah.
You have to admit, no? Like, holy shit, like...
I'm not going to comment.
No, dude.
I'm not gonna say if I use
honest.
ad blocker or not, but don't use ad blocker.
So you're saying you do use it, but no.
I didn't say anything of the sort.
That's true.
Okay, right. Let me just put that out there, okay? When I first started using ad blocker, it was fine for, say, websites like Facebook was never too bad for ads and shit like that, okay? But let me give you an example. Let's say on a website that I would use a lot, but less lately because I think they're just clickbait for fuck. Joe.ie, okay? They would put up, say, sports stories, news stories, or whatever like that. But when you click onto it, I mean, it is so hard not to click an extra link, at the side pages, for Heineken or whatever bullshit, you know what I mean? You can't even read the content without, sliding through and clicking a fucking ad, and it takes you to that separate page. That was just like AIDS, it was just like, and then ad blocker came in and it's just fucking clean, perfect, you have everything there. Okay, fair enough. But I see where you're coming from with the
No, I
revenue
definitely
thing.
get you.
I
I think the best use for it, and not to bring down the show in any way, but the best use for it definitely is for porn.
Really?
Because like
Yeah,
if you go on porn sites, you'll always get an advert of some like old granny or something with her tits out, or like just disgusting shit you don't want to see, and it kind of ruins your erection.
Yeah.
No, you're completely right, and also just nothing is off limits on this show. So, like, if you want to talk, we can talk about pornography as well. But like,
what is everyone's favorite type of pornography?
Oh, without a doubt, lesbian porn. Like, I mean, for most straight males, I think you'd get the same answer. Like, my God, it has to be. I mean, surely, like, I don't want to watch a fucking guy with a big cock on screen, like, make me feel ashamed and say, what the fuck? No,
I can understand that, yeah.
While you're watching porn and assumedly masturbating, are you just pumping away there, looking at the guy's cock and going, Oh.
yeah, but like fuck it. I mean, when you're watching someone get fucked, and all of a sudden this fucking ripped as fuck, clearly on probably steroids guy pulls out, has a cock the size of a child's arm.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
It's just like the burger at McDonald's. You know, you're about to eat it. You know, and you see the poster, and you're like,
What is the shit?
that doesn't look like that. You know, you're looking at your cock.
That's not the cock I wanted in my mouth.
No.
See, that's the thing, Steve. Like, everything, like, when you go to McDonald's, you're being lied to what you're getting. When you watch pornography, you're being lied to what you're getting,
definitely,
you know?
definitely.
Like, you're such a
I'm lying right now.
Like, you're such a
When you go to Lemony Fresh's YouTube page, you're being lied to. It's all
there's nothing real on there.
It's all this fabrication.
Sorry to bring it back to porn, but
walk away,
I
please.
really want to make this public.
Go ahead.
Do you know King's favourite type of porn?
Big booty hose.
No,
Close? No?
not even close.
Let me guess.
Hang on a minute. You're talking about one specific video,
Nugget
okay?
porn?
No, I
That's
know
not-
for a fact
that's-
that you have seen more.
It's no. I swear to God, I haven't.
Can I take another guess?
No.
Is it
Oh yeah, 'cause
is it a nugget porn, no?
What the
No.
fuck's that?
It's when people with no limbs have sex.
Oh Jesus!
Someone
Christ.
records it?
No.
well, no.
No.
I found this when I was going through his hard drive one day, getting movies and shit off him, and I didn't search that extensively to find any nugget porn.
Extreme double
So
penetration.
maybe, I don't know. I'll give you a clue. It involves machines.
Robot sex.
No.
Terminator sex.
Isn't that just robot sex?
Ultron sex.
No, that's
No.
Cyborg.
Iron Man sex.
No. You're thinking wrong kind of machines.
And by the way, before we reveal the mysterious video, this is not my favorite subsection of porn in general. Okay, this is one video that has a lot of sentimental nostalgia value for me.
Who has nostalgic feelings for porn?
Everyone.
No!
When you hear the context of the story, then you'll
No, like
understand.
all the porn I've watched through my life, I've been like, dun dun, I'm done.
I can't take the suspense anymore. Tell me.
What was it called?
Air erotica.
Air erotica.
What the
It's-
fuck is
it's-
that?
A film. It's a porn film
That follows
entirely on a plane.
and it follows the cast and crew of you got your pilot, you got your air hostess. It has everything, John.
The characters developed, yeah.
Yes, you have the passengers on the flight, and you know they all get involved. You know, it was the first porno I ever saw, John. Okay,
Yeah, well, it's,
so that's why. And I first saw.
I can relate, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I'm not fucking crazy.
No, you
And-
are fucking crazy.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
It was the first porno I saw, and then years later, when I'm like a professional porn watcher, I was like, Jesus, I wonder if I could ever find that first video I ever saw. And I found it, and now it's on my hard drive forever.
What an inspiring story.
Thank you.
It really is.
I overcame some hardships in my life.
You
find
overcame a lot of things watching that video.
You know, last week we had a guest on the show, Andrew Carr, and afterwards myself, Stephen, and Andrew went back to Andrew's house and watched porn together on the surround sound speaker system.
I'm going back to Stevens tonight.
You know,
Jesus.
you know,
We're not. I'm not that into porn. Okay,
We were
that
guessing
was Andrew's fault.
we were guessing the character. No, we weren't. It wasn't like we were wanking with each other or masturbating with each other. It was just we were guessing the character structure and the relationships between the people in this orgy.
Oh, you were deconstructing the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can respect that.
We're film critics.
Yeah, you're damn fucking right. We are. No, Steve, man. Let's get away from porn for a minute, just for now, right?
That's not what I want to hear at any point.
We can always come back to it later, of course. But Steve, like, what's your favorite animation show right now? What's your or animation film? Or what?
I know.
I don't think even I know. What is it?
TV show, Rick and Morty.
It has to be.
Rick and Morty coming back is very exciting.
Yeah.
Right now,
Or maybe what's the one that it's linked to, like Rick and Morty?
Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
Gravity Falls has been over for a couple of years.
Is
but
it?
that is legitimately one of the best shows ever made.
Really?
Live action or cartoon.
Holy
it was
fuck.
so good.
What is Gravity Falls?
It's this Disney show about these two kids who move with their uncle in Oregon, like in the forests and shit, and he runs like a mystery tour, gift shop, scam kind of place. But like all around them, all these weird and supernatural shit happens,
Right.
and like there's an overarching mystery to the series that was why you had to have watched it while it was coming out week
That
by
you're about
week.
to spoil right here for us, yes.
Well, no, I'm not gonna deprive the loyal Banana Kingdom listeners. But no, it had this brilliant overarching story that only if you watched it week by week could you fully appreciate. And then you'd go online and you'd like theorize with other people, and it was just such a great experience.
The creators
And
were
it's-
friends with the creators of Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah, Justin Roiland is good
Because
friends
there's a
with
Easter egg,
Alex
right?
Hirsch.
Have you seen that? Yeah.
There's like been so many.
Oh,
now.
really? Okay, I thought there was
Like
just one
there was the one where
through the portal in the first
the-
episode, right?
Yeah, a cup and like a pen.
pencil, yeah.
They come out of the portal. And in the latest one, there's actually Morty versions of the two main characters, Mabel and Dipper.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Cool. Just Morty, or I mean Rick and Morty versions, but they look like.
They look like Morty, but
okay.
one's a girl with long hair and like
Oh,
one has a
okay.
hat.
Oh, cool. Fuck.
So good.
Favorite animation series of all time?
All time. It's a throw up between Gravity Falls and Fairly Odd Parents. Fairly Odd
Oh.
Parents was the shit.
I remember that. Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Holy shit, that was on Nickelodeon back in the day.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the X-Men animated series? No.
So good.
Yeah, or Spider, or like any of the
What-
Marvel program.
which one were you talking about? The one from 2002.
Actually, the two. Actually, 1990
Was
or
it-
2002. Evolution in 2002. Or
I'd have
2000.
to. I didn't watch that much of Evolution. I don't remember much of it, so I have
Very
to go
good.
1990.
It's very good. It's a great reimagining of the characters from the X-Men. They kind of they're trying to make the show appeal more to a young viewing audience. So what they did was they took a lot of these classic characters like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Kitty Pryde. They put their age between, I think it was 19 and 15, put them in
Yeah.
high school, made them more relatable.
Kind of what they're doing with the characters now in the movies.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. The only thing they didn't do was characters like X-Men, Charles Xavier, Storm, they were kept the same age. They were kept pretty much
kept
left
as
untouched.
teachers.
Yeah, exactly. And, to be honest, like, it wasn't the first animation show of its time to try that. Like, probably the most famous example of this would be Batman Beyond. That was Warner Brothers.
Would you say that above Batman the animated series?
Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Well, this is my personal opinion, right? And I'll just,
okay,
I'll argue for this. But in my opinion, I kind of always split the Batman animated series into three. So you have the original first two seasons, you have the Red Sky seasons,
Yeah.
and you have Batman Beyond. So they're all the same continuity, complete different styles, and complete different ways of
Animations,
storytelling.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
completely. And just in my personal opinion, I think Batman Beyond is superior to three. And the reason I would argue this is for, I think, the style. It's sort of it was that very great neo-noir style,
Yeah.
very Blade Runner, very Ghost in the Shellish.
It appealed to me definitely more.
Oh,
I
definitely.
remember, I mean, as a kid, watching the original Batman animated series from the 90s. It was like looking at it now, it's fucking fantastic, especially the story writing, right? It's fucking great. But the animation didn't really appeal to me as much as Batman Beyond
Oh, yeah.
did. Like when I
It's
when I
so-
saw that, I remember it just looked slick and fucking cool as shit. And it was a younger Batman, so you could relate to him better, right? What's his name? Terry McGinnis,
Terry
right?
McGinnis, yeah.
That's where I would argue.
That's where the concept of that show came from. It was the head producer of Batman the animated series.
I've been trying to think of the name.
Yeah, it's
Paul Dini was the head writer.
That's right. It was Paul Dini was involved. in this meeting.
Tim something.
Well, Paul Dini was involved in this meeting. I watched. It was sort of behind the scenes of it. But essentially, it was Warner Brothers executive that brought him into the office. Said, "Look, we really like the show, but can you make this appeal to a young audience? Like, what can we do?" And then an executive said, "What about teenage Batman?" So all the writing staff, producers left the meeting just furious. They thought like this is going to ruin the show. It's going to kill it. So went home, came back overnight, and started like kind of formulating ideas together, and then came up with Batman Beyond, which was eventually grew on them so much because you can just see the heart and soul was put into the project. It's fantastic. It's kind of one of the animated series especially what age are you now? Sorry, Steve.
I'm 21. I
So,
think.
especially for the three of us, I think it's one of the animated series of our generation. Something that was so prevalent in our childhood. I think that, and for me as well, probably Dragon Ball Z were without doubt my two favorite animation shows of all time.
My favorite is, and you guys might agree with me here, South Park. I think. I mean,
that's just because you're a kid who wanted to hear the word fuck.
no, yeah.
No, everybody. I'm not saying everybody loves South Park.
Yeah.
but it's because it was the show you were not allowed to watch, not because of the quality animation on it.
No. I think, though, South Park is one of the most diverse shows ever. Okay, and hear me out here. You might just think, oh, well, all they say is like "fuck you" and fart jokes or whatever. Just like
And it's mainly
just like
voiced
the
by
road
two
joke.
people.
Yeah. Okay. Which is pretty great. You have to admit.
No,
Consider
yeah,
how
no,
many-
it's,
yeah.
yeah.
But ever since the first 10 seasons roughly were kind of 7 seasons were roughly the same, where in terms of, you know, Kenny died every episode and it was, you know, a lot of toilet humor and stuff like that. But then they started to adapt and change. And the season they're on now, was it 19 or 20? I mean, is totally different to even 10 or season 1 in terms of, you know, they're doing the full seasons now. I mean, that was a huge risk that they
overarching
took.
storyline kind of
Exactly,
things,
yeah.
yeah.
That continuating story throughout a whole season. I mean, that was like, you have to admit, that was a pretty big risk in terms of like, I mean, their fans like were used to kind of the Simpsons narrative of, you know, something happens, resolution at the end, back to normal for next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They totally changed that. You can respect that though in terms of, you know, they have such a big cult following.
I definitely do, and I definitely feel that stories like that are better to watch, but that actually hurt them. That
Really?
Because South Park gotten most of its viewership in the past from reruns on Comedy Central and everything, even in America and everything. So
And now they have less of a hold up each episode.
yeah, because
by themselves.
you need the context
Yeah.
of whatever episode to
Yeah.
get this episode. It's kind of hurt them quite a lot. And I think I read this season they're going back to
Oh, no.
single. There might be one overarching for Cartman or someone, but I think it's going to be focused on single episode stories.
I fucking loved it. And I loved how they I remember how they started it. They literally started it by making a joke that Randy would show up to one of the boys' birthday parties as dressed up as Lord, the
Yeah.
girl, the young singer.
Oh, singing on Wednesday.
Yeah, right. That's how
Yeah.
they started it. Like that was just a joke. And at the end of the episode, he's there at the birthday party and he's dressed as Lord and he's singing for the kids, and that's hilarious. Oh, that's a funny joke. And then the next week, I bet you they were, you know, the night before, Trey and Matt, you know, that's how they make episodes. I say, I bet we just make Randy Lord. And then that was the story then. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck? So literally in the South Park universe, Randy is the 20-year-old Australian, right?
New Zealand.
From New Zealand singer. And, you know, and that was just like, what the fuck? And that's how they started the continuating stories through each episode.
Yeah, no, I haven't really seen, to be honest. Like, I still would consider myself a massive South Park fan, but I haven't really watched the last few seasons, to be honest. I haven't got the time to sit down and truly enjoy them. I have to bring something back up there to you. We were talking when I brought up the two animated series that would have been, for me, like the best of my generation. I said Batman Beyond and Dragon Ball Z. You kind of
Yes,
expand upon that.
I wanted to talk Dragon Ball Z. Right, I was fucking stupid as a kid.
Go on.
I'll just preface this with that. And I hated anime. I thought anime was cheap. I thought anime was just terrible. I liked Yu-Gi-Oh! And
Pokemon, probably.
no, I hated Pokemon. I liked Digimon enough. But no, I just hated it. And it's only in becoming older and actually learning things that I've really come to appreciate anime, especially Dragon Ball Z.
Which is just like you probably agree with this, but Dragon Ball Z is the absolute pinnacle of Japanese anime.
I wouldn't say that.
Well,
I'd say
Look at all the writers that Akira Kurosawa, the writer of Dragon Ball Z, inspired. You know, like it's like
it's not Akira Kurosawa, it's Akira Toriyama.
Oh fuck! I said the Metal
Yeah,
Gear
I'm coming
Solid.
on your fucking podcast. I'm fucking schooling
God
you.
damn it! All these fucking Asian names—they're all the same.
Oh, Jesus.
Some mild racism there. No, no. Sorry, I did say the Japanese. I did say the fucking Metal Gear creator. No, that's Hideo.
Yeah, that's Hideo Kojima.
Oh, fuck these names. God fucking.
I know more about the culture than you do.
What happened to Steve and Adam and fuck it? Go on, finish your goddamn point.
But no, it is an amazing series, and it is really well animated.
And it's still
But
going.
if you're looking for the pinnacle of let's forget Ghost in the Shell or anything like that, like a serialized anime,
Berserk.
no,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. Without a doubt.
That's in the top 10, right? 9BD is the best shows ever. I'm pretty sure it's up there. Like,
I don't know.
Just
I'm not a
on
nerd
pe- on-
like you.
people
Uh,
from the guy who knows every Japanese animator ever.
not everyone, just the one he gets wrong.
Okay, fair enough.
Who the fuck did I say? I said Akira Kurosawa.
Yeah, Akira Kurosawa, I don't
Is-
know what he did. Is he the guy behind Howl's Moving Castle?
Yeah, and Spirited Away.
Spirited
yeah,
Away.
Yeah, it is.
Is
yeah.
that Kurosawa?
Google it, John. We have Google here.
How the fuck am I going to spell his name to Google him?
Look up Spirited Away or something. Anyway, what were you saying, Steve?
I have no fucking idea. I'm not great at podcasting. I keep moving away from the mic, which I should probably stop doing.
I fucking forget what you were saying. It sounded important. Was it about Dragon Ball
You're
Z?
talking about Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, Cowboy Bebop, yeah. Cowboy Bebop is something I still haven't gotten the way through because I feel Cowboy Bebop is a chocolate ghetto cake.
You really gotta
can't-
savor
You
it.
have to savor it, and
It's
you
that
gotta
fucking
take
good.
your time. It's so good.
I would I have a counter argument for that. If it was as good as you say you are, you would just shove it in your fucking face like I would.
No, because I watched the one episode over and over and over again. It's that good.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I feel really fucking embarrassed now. Akira Kurosawa is the fucking Japanese filmmaker, director of
Yeah.
the director of Seven Samurai, Yojimbo, and Akira. He's also probably one of the best editors of all time. We actually studied him here in college for a bit.
Yeah,
Holy
weird.
fuck.
We are
So-
doing Yojimbo this year.
What?
We are doing Yojimbo this year.
What's
Because
that?
you're in college.
It's one of Akira Kurosawa's films.
So if there's any nerd listening and John, he just listened to us, discuss about who this guy is for the past 5 minutes and he knows, he's really fucking angry.
Yeah,
at you
especially
right now.
how I discussed him in such a racially insensitive way.
Yeah.
Kind of said, what was I said? They all sound the fucking same. Their names.
Something like that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you were like, whatever happened to fucking John and Steve and
Yeah,
Dave?
simple fucking names. God damn it. Bring those back. please.
Well-
I'm pretty sure they had the names before us.
Yeah.
Like we had Nordic names like Kunk and Dog and shit like
Plus,
that.
Akira could be like the Japanese John. You don't know. Right?
Shit, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right there.
Double-sided.
Were you about to say double-sided sword because you're talking about Asian people?
Yeah. Well, he put Seven Samurais in my head.
Yeah. Hell of a film. And we actually had to watch it, like just here in college where we study film. For those listening, we had to watch most of his films last year. They're pretty fucking great. Like Yojimbo's very, very good. Seven Samurai is very, very good.
They're pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, they really are. They're just in such an excellent product of their time, because that would have been, especially back in Japanese cinema, they would have been, really big epics of their time. That would have been sort of what Western cinema had going on with the cowboy genre of film. Sort of films about sort of like Ronins and samurais really dominated the Japanese film market at the time. So
Obviously, a big inspiration to Quentin Tarantino
without a doubt,
for
yeah.
Kill Bill. Did you like that film?
I
like the first
Kill
one.
Bill is the only Quentin Tarantino film I'm not fond of.
Really?
I felt it was too much.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where I came into my head when we were talking about it. I was like, oh, that movie was crazy. When I think of crazy fucking gore,
Yeah.
like, that was really over the top, isn't it? But fucking hell, like, I mean, you have to hand it, keeping the narrative interesting for what 2 hours long Kill Bill is, where, like, all you see is slash. She's just killing for days, You gotta, it's good choreography.
Oh, it's a beautiful film.
Yeah.
It's the fight scenes are amazing.
Why is
And,
it
like,
the only one
setting
that you
is
don't
lovely.
like?
It felt really on the nose. It felt like the whole film to me felt like a wink to camera.
Okay, kind of like,
Like
I
it-
know a lot about
like
old Japanese films.
Pulp Fiction, that could be real. Reservoir Dogs, that could be real.
Django Unchained,
Django
even
Unchained,
Inglorious Bastards, even the end. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, Hitler could have burned in a theater.
Who knows?
That's possible.
Who knows?
But all the shit in
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill, no matter how
Yeah.
amazing it is,
Yeah.
it was too much.
I see what you're saying. What's his other fucking film that's terrible?
Death Race or something
Death
like that.
Proof. I
Death
think.
Proof, you're right.
Death
Yeah.
Proof.
Death Proof.
Holy shit. And
Never seen
I'm
it.
pretty sure he doesn't even count that as a film that he's directed, right? Because for the promotion for The Hateful Eight, it was the 8th film from Quentin Tarantino. But there was actually the 9th.
Maybe that was just marketing.
but still, like, you know, he's even like, oh, that wasn't great. Like
Yeah.
that, you know what I mean? Just check that.
Yeah, just checking it.
What's your favorite Tarantino film?
Oh, definitely Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction's
I
classic
feel like
film.
that's a bit of a, you know, because it's the critically acclaimed one, Steve. I think it's a bit of a
No,
cop
it's
out.
because I've seen it and I've liked it.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't you fucking come into my house, which is your radio station, and fucking judge my opinions.
You're on the bandwagon.
I don't walk into your house on Christmas morning and piss on your kids. That's what you're doing to me.
I'm a bit of a hipster, and I'm gonna go for Django Unchained. I feel like it needs more love.
Oh, I like Django Unchained.
It's fucking great.
Oh, look, he's killing Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh.
It's good though.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
He should have fucking won the Oscar for that. Not fucking.
Was he up for it?
He was. No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He should have. I'm just saying, he should have. Ahead of Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz was fucking great.
Oh, no, Christoph Waltz is amazing in anything.
Have you seen fucking? Oh shit! The movie with Seth Rogen, the fucking superhero film, The Green Hornet. Have you seen him in that?
Green Hornet was okay.
Oh man,
Christoph Waltz was good in Green Hornet.
was he? Oh, I don't know. I like
Green Hornet is something you'd put on when there's nothing else. Green Hornet is a good waste of time.
Are we on about-
I could watch it.
Are we on
I
about
could watch
the
it.
Japanese series of Bruce Lee? No, the American series of Bruce Lee.
No, we're on about the Seth Rogen comic book movie.
The remake?
I've never seen it, thank God.
Was the original one?
Yes, it's Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee was...
No, it's adapted from a comic book, this film.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the TV series.
Yeah, Bruce Lee was in the TV series, The Green
Oh.
Hornet.
The
Yeah,
Green
for years.
Hornet, the film. What's his assistant's name? Do you remember? No. Seth Rogen has a sidekick, and he's Asian, and he's a mechanic.
I have no
Well, that's who
idea.
that's who BruceLee played in the TV show.
Yeah, I would
show.
have assumed Bruce Lee played the Asian guy.
Yeah, he did. just iron that out. But what's your favorite bad movie?
He played Kato.
That's a fucking hard
Cat.
question.
And he also made a cameo appearance in Batman as Kato as well. Bruce Lee.
In the
Yeah.
Adam West series?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Holy fucking shit. So, it only got one season. Okay, it ran for 1 year, 26 episodes.
Oh, we got fucking play-by-play up here. I didn't even notice this.
Steve, what's your favorite bad movie?
Bad movie. What do you classify as bad?
Bad.
Sorry, like we had to we had to kind of really split this question. So you can either have a movie that's so bad it's fucking great. So like The Room would just be a prime example of this. Tommy Wiseau's The Room, or a movie that's just fucking awful, and I would rather like piss in my fucking eyes than watch it.
Vanilla Sky. Have you seen that? It's fucking terrible.
No,
and
what's
it's
it
not
about?
good. Oh, it's what's his name? Tom fucking Cruise, and it's in like a dream sequence. It's just awful.
Sorry, Stephen, is this just bad?
Just bad, yeah.
Oh, well,
yeah,
for me,
yeah.
for me,
I couldn't watch it again.
for
Okay.
me, without a doubt, the worst film I've ever seen. I always says to people, the worst film I've ever fucking seen is The Virginity Hit. You ever see A Virginity Hit?
Never even
It's
heard of it.
everything that was wrong with that weird genre that kind of exploded in the late 2000s. It's it's
Project X.
yes, yeah,
It's just like that.
yeah. So what you have like what the fuck? I can't even name any of those fucking films. They're all god awful to me. Project X.
What would you classify it as? Kind of a fake documentary home movie.
Yeah,
movie.
exactly. And the whole film's about this fucking guy. He's never had sex. He's a virgin, right? And him and his friends document his journey to having sex with his girlfriend and everything that entails therefore after. And it's just clearly made by people who have no fucking, or so out of touch with young people today. It's so fucking bad. It's just a worse. So it is. It's just if you ever want to watch just a really shit fucking film, check it out. Like, unbelievably fucking bad. Actually, unbelievably offensive as well.
I'm pretty sure Andrew, the guy we had on last week, he likes it. I think he likes it a lot in that movie. So it's a good thing he's not here.
Yeah.
Steve,
I have one that, from what I've seen, the world hates, but it's actually become one of my favorite films.
because it's so bad.
No, it's so good, but everyone else thinks it's bad.
Go on.
Okay.
The 2005 remake of The Producers.
I don't know.
I never
It's-
even heard of
you
the
know-
original.
You don't know The Producers by Mel Brooks?
No.
No.
You know Mel Brooks, though?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, The Producers is a story of this Broadway producer who meets this accountant. And the accountant informs him that he could make a whole shitload of money if he put on a show that he knew would fail. Because then the IRS and all the taxmen and everything wouldn't be tracking down a show that failed. So it's them getting all the pieces together to put on this absolutely god-awful show called Springtime for Hitler.
Right.
And it...
What's so bad about it that's great?
Well, there was an original one in the late 50s, early 60s, that was an absolute classic. It's one of the best comedy films ever made, particularly by Bell Brooks.
Does this has anything? Sorry to interrupt. Does this has anything to do with that TV sitcom that they had where Hitler was an American, and it was in
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Though?
Guess who's back?
Is
Yeah,
that like-
no, are you talking
it was-
about...
It got set like it had recorded 17 episodes, but it never aired.
Yeah,
what's that called?
It was the BBC one. It was like
Oh.
Heil, Honey, I'm Home or something.
That's it. That's
yeah,
it.
and it
That's-
got one episode.
So no, it has a few. It has like
No, it got one episode aired.
Okay,
Isn't
right.
that called? There's something similar called Guess Who's Back. I think
Pretty
it's called.
funny.
It's on. If you ever go on Netflix, you'll always see it. It's
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, yeah.
I seen a little clip of that where they're driving Hitler down the road or something, and he's like listening to music.
Why
He's like,
you-
"What is this?"
Why is Hitler such a great character to,
Well,
have
probably-
in one of these positions? Like, is it because he was such a monster?
Yeah,
or?
it definitely it is. Like, I mean,
Right.
you're dealing with the most evil human being of all time. Well, arguably the most evil. Like, definitely, yeah.
I would argue that the powers that be, John, they're the real evil ones.
Well, I'd say at least in the top most 5 evil people of all time, you have Hitler. Like,
Yeah, he was fucking. I don't know. Yeah, he was evil, but he was more crazy. I think he was
Well,
fucking
yeah.
nuts.
No, he was
Well-
just purebred evil.
I mean, he manipulated the entire population. Of
He
his
was
nation into
100%
thinking-
evil from concentrate.
Yeah,
That's
like-
how evil he was.
Damn you, Steve. But like, he manipulated his entire population into thinking and sort of blaming all the wrongdoings and problems of their nation on one minority group off their country.
Remind you of anyone?
And as a result, he killed 6 million of them in horrible ways through concentration camps. He was the main proponent for the reason for the Second World War, which resulted in the deaths of 74 million people on this planet, which is absolutely insane. So I think that's why Hitler's so fascinating. Like, why was, like, it's often one of those things. It's a great quote about Hitler. It's always saying Hitler was so evil, but he absolutely loved animals. There's so many. I mean, when you think
Weird.
I know, yeah. Just there's so many different things you can break down. Like what led him to be so evil, and what would it be like being surrounded by someone like that there. So kind of putting him in these weird sort of comedic situations and TV series. It's just it's really interesting. It's really cool. It's really funny to kind of explore. What happens if he was alive today in sort of a world that's so. The way we communicate is so different, and the way we sort of access information is so different. How would he survive?
What's it called in Rick and Morty? Abraham Linklater.
Abraham Linklater.
Linklater, yeah. Or
Abraham
Linklater or something like that.
Yeah, he's trying to create the most neutral person possible.
Yeah.
So we
So
took Abraham
funny.
Lincoln and Hitler.
And he's just a douche. Like, is it? No, not that. How would you describe the character in it? Like Rick says it best. It's just like he's just like the worst. It's not like he's a bad person or a good person. He's just like a drag to be around. Is it?
Yeah.
Like he's just weird. Yeah. Oh, what great idea! Fucking hell.
No, bringing it back for a minute, there was a documentary I'm trying to find about why Hitler is so funny. And it's going around a load of comedians
No
asking
way.
why. And Mel Brooks is in it.
Holy
Bring
fuck.
it back to that. But, I don't know. Why do you think Hitler is funny?
Well, I guess it's just kind of it's a natural progression of how we sort of view figures of evil. Like Hitler isn't the only one that has been subjective to this. You can look at any other dictator in a sense.
Genghis Khan, for
Exactly.
one.
Yeah, exactly. So like I think it's people's way of sort of not only sort of destroying the legacy of Hitler in a sense by just laughing at him instead of fearing him and still fearing him
Yeah,
long after his
you
death.
definitely can't be afraid when you're laughing.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. I think just people. I think it goes back to the point we were saying there. He's just so fascinating that there's so many things you can explore with him, and especially in regards to comedy, to just laugh at him. In a
You would
sense.
have to admit, like, I mean, yeah, he's evil, obviously, but he's interesting. I mean, he's as a character, like, especially obviously in there's so many movies about him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, and TV shows or whatever, like, you know, would always reference something, you know?
Yeah, without doubt, yeah.
He's
Because
so interesting.
yeah, what like
Why?
Yeah, like what
You
made
know?
him so evil? Like what were the catalysts that sort of pushed him in this direction into his life?
It was growing up, right, in Austria.
That's right, yeah.
And it was that his family were poor and didn't have much, and his neighbours were Jewish, right? And
Yeah,
that's
he
why
also-
he
he
grew
also,
up spiting them, because they always had money and success, right?
He also blamed the Jews for the loss of the First World War. There was a riot took place in 1917 in November in Germany that he thought was organised by the Jews, and the result of this riot, it had weakened Germany from in, which caused the nation to lose the First World War that he feels were winning. He also was kind of jealous of the sort of success that he felt the Jewish population had within Germany. You know, Hitler himself, you know, he was, like you said, came from a low income background, was a failed painter, you know. So you can just kind of all the faults in his life he kind of projected upon the Jewish population. They were the reason for it. Used them as a scapegoat, and then was also able to do the same in terms of rallying the nation together against them, using them as a common scapegoat for all of the nation's problems. You know, even when his government took over the nation, and the inflation, the country went up so high, the debt increased, he still blamed these problems on the Jewish population, the same population he'd sort of outcasted from society. You know, so it's he's just a really fascinating character. You know, because. Like we said, the most evil person of all time, and without a doubt, the most famous person of all time. Probably, you could argue everyone in the world knows him.
Him and
That
Jesus.
is a good point.
Yeah, he's the most famous person of all time.
Who's up there as the most famous people of all time?
The most evil.
Jesus.
No, but just as the most famous, who would be in the top 10 list?
Oh, so real people, so not Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Someone who's real. Okay. Einstein.
Yeah.
Abraham
I'll give you
Lincoln.
that.
Abraham Lincoln.
Well, hear me out here, right? So just Stephen was talking about it's called the hisocracy of Jesus, right? So scholars have often debated if Jesus is real, right? And there's a lot of evidence for and against his existence, right? But you'd be a complete idiot if you denounce the existence of Muhammad. Muhammad, without a doubt, there's so much evidence to prove his existence. So probably Muhammad, Hitler, definitely up there, the two most famous people who have actually ever existed.
You don't want to put those two in a room.
Oh no, fuck it, Muhammad was
What the fuck would happen if you did?
dead. Someone's dying, yeah.
That's who would win in a fist fight between Muhammad and
Muhammad, he
Yeah,
fucking
he
killed
fought,
him.
Yeah, he fought in wars like Muhammad. He was a
general,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
He was
He's a street, like he had a whole army at his disposal. He understood in combat. He'd fucking slaughter Hitler.
Yeah, he'd kill him. Wow, that's a really interesting thing we just brought up. Who'd win in a fist fight? Adolf Hitler or Muhammad,
The Muslim prophet.
The Muslim prophet. Muhammad, so there you go. Hands
Confirmed.
down. Not just because Hitler, was evil. We're taking
we're
that.
not picking
No,
sides.
we're taking
the Muslim versus Nazi.
We're taking. Yeah, we're not.
Tonight on
we're
Death
we're totally, objective there.
Two
we're
men,
just
two
going,
different time eras.
Yeah.
Hitler, Muhammad.
One world title.
the ideologies at the door.
One weapon can be used each. Muhammad chooses his poop. Hitler chooses a gun.
A wrench. This Friday night on
Death Battle.
Death Battle.
No, I'm ripping off Death Battle from Screw Attack. We
Yeah,
had to
no,
call it
I
something
love
new.
them.
We had to call it a ultimate dictatorship fight. No, I don't know. Fuck it. Yeah, top 10 most famous though. So Hitler and Muhammad definitely up there on that list.
Abraham Lincoln and Einstein,
Yeah.
I'm willing to put in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, so we
Uh,
four.
Elvis. Elvis
and
was
the
pretty
Beatles.
famous.
Elvis and the Beatles. We'll count the Beatles as one.
I think
I
I absolutely love the Beatles, but I
most
think
sold musicians
Elvis
of all
was
time.
more famous.
But the Beatles sold more than Elvis.
Yeah.
So
No, you can't deny that. No, the
No,
Beatles
it's-
were bigger, man.
if they were all both alive today, Elvis would have more Twitter followers than the Beatles.
Nah, man, you're full of it. You're just
No,
Really?
I think you would.
No.
If you had Twitter in the 50s,
No, that,
definitely.
No, that fat fuck man. Elvis was.
That's
Elvis-
not being fair.
Elvis-
He was a fat fuck in his
Wait.
later age.
There-
We're all fat fucks when we get old.
Did you ever see the story when he met fucking Richard Nixon? There's actually a film.
Oh, that film's so good.
I know that's true, man. Elvis wanted to be an undercover CIA operative. It's like no one could recognize him. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
he was fucking crazy. That's great.
Imagine like Elvis infiltrating the fucking Communist Party. It's like there's clearly fucking Elvis in this room. Like what the hell? It's like
Any of you guys see any Soviets around here?
oh madness. Madness, man. Yeah, that's what happens when you're too famous and too much money and too much pussy. You just brain rots away, man. You know,
just lose it.
I know. I think I'd
The heroin.
sacrifice it all for money and pussy.
Nah.
Wouldn't you?
Oh wait, what? Would I
Yeah.
sacrifice everything?
Would you go crazy if you had everything Elvis?
Oh fuck yes,
Yeah.
without question. Yeah, I wouldn't even have to hesitate. Yeah, you should cut off your finger for all those accolades. I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Especially when you grow up like Elvis. I don't know much about his background, but I mean, surely, you know, growing up, he would never be able to get anything he wanted at any moment, right? But then suddenly a few years pass and he has all the money in the world, all the fame. So anything he could possibly want is accessible within a day, right? If he wanted something within a day, he could probably have it. So that would fuck me up. Yeah, I would go crazy.
Right, we set up the simulation. We have Elvis fighting Hitler. Who wins? No, triple.
Are we doing a bracket now?
No,
Are we like
fuck
moving
it.
up?
No, fuck
Are we
it.
gonna
I'm increasing the stipulation. It's a triple threat match. Elvis versus Hitler. Who wins?
What's the weapons? One weapon each. No guns. Elvis have his guitar.
Yes.
I'd give it to Elvis. I think he'd crack Hitler on the head with his guitar, and then the strings would come loose, and he'd have the strings. And who else is in there? Muhammad.
Yes.
I think he could choke out Muhammad with this.
I don't think you're counting in the power of Allah. Muhammad has the power of Allah behind him.
Yeah, but Muhammad is real. Allah's just fucking bullshit. Let's get real here, man.
I'm not gonna say anything because
You don't want to be struck down.
I like living, but no, I think Muhammad could put up a good fight with Elvis.
Right. I probably agree. I
think Elvis is like a fucking shit heel if he's bringing his guitar in and smacking people over the head with that.
that's like the honky tonk man from wrestling.
Yeah.
with an.
Do you think Elvis was inspired by the honky tonk man?
No, the honky tonk man was inspired by Elvis.
It makes so much sense.
I know it does.
Can Elvis take in his prescription pills as a weapon?
No,
Also,
it's
with his
no.
guitar. But
What would that do? It's not like a video game where you pick up pills and get back health. That's
No,
not how
no.
medicine works.
No, he could throw a pill into like Hitler's mouth and he'd swallow it, and then he'd be fucked up. Easy win.
What pills are these?
His prescription pills that
Or-
killed him on the toilet.
Or Elvis.
Yeah, they weren't. If you gave Hitler one of them, he wouldn't die. It's because he overdosed.
But he had a high tolerance for them. Hitler wouldn't. Hitler's a clean
Still
eater.
wouldn't have killed him.
Yeah, well, like
What drug was it? Can you look that up for a second?
it's probably like I think it was sleeping pills. But just hear me out.
Yeah,
right?
one sleeping pill would not kill you.
But he'd be drowsy.
But what happens? But what happens if Elvis takes a load of medication, becomes like immune to pain, and starts
Yeah.
kicking everyone's ass?
Still, the power of Allah.
Is that your pitch to Fox now for who's going to take over for Wolverine? You're just going to have Elvis doped up on sleeping pills that he can't feel anything going around punching Magneto.
Who should be the new Wolverine?
Ooh.
Tom Hardy?
Nah, I wouldn't like Tom Hardy. As I think...
Who should be the new Wolverine? John Hamm, maybe.
We should find someone short.
Why?
Because
Conor
Wolverine
McGregor.
is famously like 5'4".
4'2".
5'2".
Yeah, and
No,
very-
he's
yeah.
not.
Yeah, he's like one of the shortest. Like that's why in lineups it's always funny because you'll have like Captain America, Thor, Wolverine.
Really?
Yeah, like get
This-
up where like a lineup there.
I thought I had somewhat of a good knowledge of comic books.
No, you don't know anything.
Wolverine,
really.
Wolverine is smaller than Black Widow.
This is shocking. Where is he?
He's right here.
Second from the third from bottom.
Oh, he's not that small.
Yeah.
In,
No
the,
way.
in the comics, he is. That's
not-
why.
Yeah, in the comics he's
He's
always
the
been
same
small.
height as fucking Daredevil and Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, in the comics he's
you
always been
can
that small.
read, right? It says Mystique and Spider-Man are 5'10", Wolverine is 5'3".
But what? Okay, well in this picture, it's fucked.
Well, the Black Widow is 5'7" and Wolverine is 5'3", so she's a good 4 inches taller than him.
5'3".
This is according to HalloweenCostumes.com. This might not be canon Marvel facts.
It looks. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He's very
Looks legit, even
Very-
though for HalloweenCostumes.com.
he's very hairy as well.
No, it says Source Marvel.
He is a hairy man. He's
Yeah.
basically the Robin Williams of the Marvel universe.
That's fucking crazy. I can't believe this.
Yeah.
So like, how is he such a badass? He's so.
Because he's just
Small.
like fucking ferocious and shit.
And he weighs 300 pounds in the comics. The adamantium weighs so
Yeah.
much.
Guys, my head is fucked right now. Seriously, this has shattered my universe.
Do you ever see the series Drowning Logan? You see, Wolverine he can't swim.
That's why in Days of Future Past, Magneto put rebar into him, threw him into a fucking river. Couldn't do anything.
That's a visual nod to Fatal Attractions from 1990 when Magneto rips the adamantium out of his skeleton.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's the way that all the metal was all jagged around him.
Yeah, it looked like the cover.
Exactly, yeah. I'll show you, actually, I'll grab a comparison picture and we can look at it here.
Yeah.
Why is it so more interesting for superheroes to be flawed? Why is that so great? I think
Because you can connect to them.
and it's okay, and it sets up better parameters. You know, this is why I've never liked Superman. He's too OP. He can fucking do anything. He fucking reverse time. He can fucking do whatever he wants. And when you make them, what is it though, Steve? Like, why when you make them that powerful? Is it just
I think it's just on a basic human connection kind of thing.
really? But it's not even that the fact
Like
that
that's what split Marvel apart from DC back in the day.
their heroes were flawed.
Yeah, like the Fantastic Four, the first big Stanley Marvel comic.
Was the Fantastic Four?
Well, yeah.
I didn't know
But basically, I may be paraphrasing, but Stanley was told, right, DC, or Timely Comics as they were at the time or something, they have Justice League. Justice League is doing gangbusters. We need like a superhero team. So Stanley went away, came up with the Fantastic Four. And the only thing that, apart from power sets and the characters, really, the thing that defined the Fantastic Four from being a Justice League clone was they had problems. They were a family. Sue fought with Johnny. Johnny fought with Ben. Reed had relationship problems with Sue. Everybody didn't get along all the time. And then that leads on to Spider-Man. He's a teenager. He has money problems. He has girl problems. He has all that bullshit. Tony Stark, drinking problem. The Hulk, his whole life is a problem.
Holy
So
shit.
just to expand upon that as well, there was Stan Lee snuck the Spider-Man into Amazing Fantasy 39 by he snuck it past his editor. His editor
Is that true?
Yeah, his editor was very against the notion. His editor said superheroes don't have problems. It's escapism. No readers is going to want to get into it. Stan Lee kind of...
I think I do remember this, and a large factor was Stan wanted him to be a scrawny kid.
Yeah, well, Stanley, he kind of walks the line perfectly between realism and escapism. A big big reason why Spider-Man's costume covers his entire body. You can't see any of his skin is because Stanley wanted the reader to visualize themselves in his position. And what's it called? Like if you kind of just look at that initial run that Steve Ditko and Stan Lee did in the '60s, it has often been compared. That was such a dramatic change in comics. It's often been compared like the French New Wave of cinema in a sense. Like people always forget the sort of political messages that lied in those original Spider-Man in that original Spider-Man run with Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. Like a prime example of this is that I think it was issue 24 or it was something like that. There's Peter Parker when he's in college. He has to stop a protest that's going on. The protest was written to mirror the protests that were going on at the time with the hippie movement. And even though Peter Parker was a more liberal-minded character, he had to go against his own political views to stop this protest from getting out of hand and side with the more conservative police. And he's kind of caught here in the middle, you know. He's kind of going against his own political ideologies. He's kind of explored so much themes like that as well, you know, sort of how, like for example, Flash Thompson, his main bully, admires Spider-Man. He's Spider-Man's biggest fan, but at the same time, you know, picks on Peter Parker and every single chance he gets. So he kind of like just sort of like the dichotomy between his life as Spider-Man, his life outside the costume. He mainly focused on sort of the Peter Parker's sort of story in the comics. He always said he tried to write it like a sitcom as well. It's such a breakaway especially when you compare it to like, you know, sort of Batman, Superman, especially their initial runs. You know, it's pure escapism in a sense, you know, and. Also, just final point as well, like it's even escapism for Peter Parker. Like he calls himself Spider-Man, not Spider-Boy, despite the fact he's a teenager.
Yeah,
you know? It's great. No, it's so much to take away. Same with the X-Men. You know, Stan Lee used that to sort of mirror the.
That was like just a big message.
Yeah, of how blacks were treated in America at the time. You know, sort of how minorities were sort of discriminated against for their appearance. And
I think Stan Lee crafted it so well that
he used it for anything.
Yeah, even though it may have been, I'm not sure, it may have been his intention to have them represent the black minority in America. it can really represent any minority.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Like it's just a blank sheet
Yep.
to show what happens to the oppressed. Like the first series of X-Men films, the Bryan Singer films, he was thinking about gay people when he was thinking about the oppressed.
Yeah. How they were like exiled kind of thing, and is it okay?
Yeah.
Like
No,
socially outcast for being genetically different and not being able to control it, if you understand.
yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty powerful, and like he used Professor X as an allegory for Martin Luther King, and he used Magneto as an allegory for Malcolm X.
Yeah.
So like
What the fuck?
yeah, so like he was trying to like show these contrasts, both similar goals, both.
Do you think he
These superhero books are really cool.
Well, like,
yeah,
both-
but like that's the thing. Like, I mean, there's so much social, commentary going on, and it's masked with the pretty colors and the cool action scenes. You just sort of you don't think that most people would just whiz by it, no?
Well, yeah, well,
I think a lot of
Most people do. I often do.
yeah, like even the X-Men, not in the films, but in the comics are notoriously colourful. Like their outfits really stand out. That was sort of the reason for that being in the comics is Xavier wants them to stand out. He wants them to be proud of who they are. That's why you see like Jubilee, Wolverine, Rogue, to wear these such a weird combination of colours. Like Wolverine wears yellow and blue, Rogue wears green and brown. It's just help them stand out. It's maybe more of a message not to hide in the shadows. To really, like same how the LGBT community uses the most colourful flag possible, the rainbow colours on their flag. They stand out and to not be sort of outcasted by society.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's
You
a way
think
to say you can't ignore us.
So do you
we're
think?
here and we're vibrant?
Do you think Stan Lee? Do you think he when he was coming up with these characters? Do you think you never thought that he was like, oh, he looks cool.
Yeah,
that color looks cool.
No.
Oh, maybe it means this.
The original team wore the same colours.
No, that's
Do you know what I'm saying?
that's something I want to bring up.
Because Claremont
Do
came
you
up with
think, like when you were in English class or something, and you were reading whatever text you were doing, and they were explaining the super deep
Yeah.
historical context or emotional context or why he chose to say this instead of this, when they're going through that stuff, do you ever just think, were they really thinking about that, or
the
did
time.
they just write it whatever way came to
All
mind?
the time. And do you ever
Yeah.
think that people just interpreted it wrong?
Yeah.
And then maybe they just went with
They
it.
wanted to
Oh.
find inner meaning to it.
I think that happens all the time.
I'll give you a personal example. So what you're discussing there is theory after the fact, as it's famously called. When someone writes something and someone interprets it completely different than that person ever intended. So just me personally, I read a script there recently that's been made into a short film in college. It took it took from last semester to this semester to fully make it. Anyway, we were doing a test screening there with our lecturer, and she interpreted it as a question of the character's masculinity and how it's explored. She was really into that. She thought that was fantastic, and she was praising us for it. I'd never read it with that in mind. That never entered my fucking head.
What did you write it as?
As a commentary on the monotony of life and sort of how routine can destroy the mind. And what's it called? Like, it's amazing because even though she was saying that, she went a massive rant about how this is great, how this is a fantastic commentary on it. I just rolled with the punches. Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what I said. I mean, I'm a genius, and it takes a genius to recognize someone else's work.
Exactly. So to go back to your point, when you're reading one of those fantastic piece of literature from the past, we're thinking this at the time. Probably you can argue probably not. Like Stan Lee think that sort of the X-Men could be used as a sort of blank canvas to be a representation of different minority groups throughout the planet. Probably not. He just really was trying to do a commentary on what was relevant to his time, which was the black right movement led by the likes of Martin Luther King, and sort of kind of envisioned those into sort of superhero characters.
That's crazy. But why did he make them white? I think that's
They're not all white.
No, I mean, you said
Well, the
Charles,
initial team are white, yeah.
yeah, they are, and you said Charles Xavier.
Well, one of them's blue.
You said Charles Xavier was a metaphor for Martin Luther King. No,
Yeah,
Why
yes.
didn't he make him black?
Well, you have to think of at the time.
It wouldn't sell.
Black, yeah, exactly. Black
Okay,
characters
okay.
weren't as popular. Who was the first black character? Wasn't
Storm. Oh, the first
no?
black
It
comic book
was
character.
it was Luke Cage or Falcon.
It's not Black Panther, no? I thought it was Black. I always thought it was
No, Black
Panther.
Panther came way after Luke Cage, I think.
Yeah, we're looking for the first Black Marvel superhero, yes.
Yes, yeah, sorry, because I know fuck all about DC. I'd
Just
pick
Googling this.
I'd pick up a DC comic, but like I'm not really interested in that chronology.
The first black superhero I remember seeing was in the Justice League
I was right.
series.
Fucking
Green Lantern.
live!
I was right.
Green Lantern.
Yeah.
It was the Black Panther
Oh, was it the Black Panther?
in July 1966.
Whoa.
Oh, look up when Luke Cage came out.
So you were wrong, Steve.
Yeah, I'm not.
What a fucking loser.
Does this mean I'm off the show now and you
You
bring on the next
Get
contestant?
the fuck out of here. What?
1972, Luke Cage first
Look at that
appeared.
hot man meat.
Jesus.
Oh.
Have you guys watched the series?
Oh yes.
Yeah, so good.
I haven't
very
seen
good,
it.
yeah.
No.
It's a-
One
it's
of
a-
the best soundtracks in the TV series ever.
It's really interestingly done because, don't get me wrong, Luke Cage's own struggles are one of the center points of the show, but the show mainly revolves around sort of the presence of Luke Cage and how sort of this bulletproof
yeah,
black man
that was a
everyone,
very interesting aspect to take.
yeah, it's even brought up like how did the police deal with a black man that's bulletproof?
Yeah.
You know, so and like how like and
Jesus.
yeah, like there's a character in it who she's a reverse Trump. She wants to keep Harlem black. She wants she's
What's her name?
Cottonmouth's sister.
Yeah.
I can't even. She didn't have a full
Madeline
name.
or Margaret.
Something like that, yeah. But no, it's mainly about how these villains are affected by his presence. You know, Cottonmouth how was pretty much had Harlem under control until Luke Cage stepped in, and you kind of just really he was absolutely fantastic in that TV series. Cottonmouth, not a big character in the comics at all.
No.
That's typical of Marvel, sort of taking these lesser known characters and really turning them to A+ players. Like we were talking about this last week, but like Iron Man was not a fucking A+ comic book player
not at all.
until the films.
He was just scraping a B,
Yeah,
like
no.
low C.
Yeah, like I was saying to Steve, the most sold comic of all time is Jim Lee's X-Men issue #1. It's still, there's 12 million copies sold this day, and like when you go back,
Fucking hell.
yeah, when you go, and the second most sold comic is also an X-Men comic. It's actually the X Factor issue 1. So when you go back to like the 90s to the mid 2000s, the X-Men, Spider-Man, and the Incredible Hulk were Marvel's real flagship characters. That then like it's kind of fascinating how the film studio really took these B-list characters, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, so on, and just have really turned them into megastars, you know. So it's pretty cool. And same with Luke Cage. Luke Cage was a fucking C+ player for fucking years. This is a real lesser known.
Luke Cage still really is a C+ player.
Oh, without a doubt,
In comic book world. Like.
In
the
comic book
comic
world,
book
oh,
universe,
without a
yeah.
doubt,
I have a
without
quick
doubt.
question, John, because you've told me this before. How many comic issues would I have to buy a week to fully
Keep up Batman.
follow Batman?
Oh, this is great.
Oh, there's how many is done out? There's
I
like
know this.
7.
I know this.
There's more.
I went through this, right?
Watch this.
So I went through this. So when the New 52 started with Batman, so when the New 52 started, just to give some backstory to this, it was essentially a relaunch of the DC continuity.
Oh no, I know
just,
it, yeah.
just for people listening in case they're lost.
They should know as well.
So essentially, DC did a big massive series called Flashpoint, where after that they reset the continuity and really re-released a load of new #1 issues, right? So Superman had an issue 1, so on, right? So Batman was just fucking insane. So you had the New 52 Batman issue 1, which is written by Zack Snyder. This listed a series now, right?
Not Zack Snyder.
Oh, yeah, Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder.
So you had Batman.
Jesus Christ! If Zack Snyder wrote
Never.
the Batman comic,
Never.
Especially issue
it'd
1.
be fucking
So,
dead.
Look at it. So you had Batman, right? You had Batman: The Dark Knight. You had Detective Comics, which is also about Batman. That's where what DC stands for.
Are you counting spin-offs in this?
Oh
Yes.
no. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you had Batman / Superman, which is ongoing
Yep.
season 2. You had Batman and Robin. You had Batman Incorporated. You had fucking Justice League in count, and all the many issues of that, which Batman is one of the key fucking characters
Yeah.
of Justice
So
League.
how many? There's like 5 Justice Leagues, right?
Well, he was in Justice League Dark. He was
Justice
in
League of
Justice
America.
He was in Justice League of America. Justice League and Justice League
He
of America.
helped
are two
set
series.
up the Justice League of America.
Yeah, they're two separate series. Don't forget Justice League and Justice League of America. The JLA and the JL. Two different comic book series the New 52 do, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, Batman is a very prolific character in that, right? So you have them. You have I said Batman and Robin. Let me just get the whole fucking list.
Shows up in Batgirl, shows up in Nightwing.
Just for people at home, John
Red
just
Robin.
remembered all those offhand. I mean, why did they... I'm guessing the New 52 was launched as a marketing scheme, I guess.
Yeah,
Because
that's-
personally, if I wanted to start reading comics, like I think this is where you brought it up, John, why they did this was like, if I wanted to, say, go back all the way for Batman's, full story, I'd go back, like 1,000 issues, right?
Oh,
It'd
it's
be
madness.
fucking crazy. Like, so that's why
Madness.
they started it, right? So younger people today could sort of
Yeah.
start from the beginning, right?
Yeah, like it's the exact same. Steve, were you a fan of the Ultimate Marvel series?
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
The Ultimate series is Marvel did this Similarly, in the early 2000s, where they had the normal 616 universe, it was referred to, where that had continued on from the 40s.
That's the main continuity now,
Yeah.
616.
But then they also spun off and created the Ultimate Universe, which is basically everything again, but everyone's younger and everything's gritty. And it was a fucking great series.
Well, masterpiece.
I loved every Ultimate comic.
Did you read?
Well, Ultimatum was kind of the switching point.
Yeah, no, let me just, I don't mean to be repeating what you're saying, but just to really expand upon that, so just so you understand, like, Spider-Man was in issue 600 at that time, so imagine how they jumped in the comic.
Sorry to interrupt. Basically, the idea, everything we've gotten in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been more inspired aesthetically
By
and
Marvel
thematically than, by the Ultimate comics, than the normal comics. Like, so when Iron Man came out, Tony Stark in the 616 was basically the same he'd always been from the 60s. He was just your generic, blank, I'm here to save the day superhero. But the one in the Ultimate Universe was a fucking asshole. He was a fucking alcoholic prick.
Like he is in the movies, right?
Like he is in the movies.
Okay.
And had a brain tumor as well was the difference. Thought it was very unrealistic that he had a heart problem and was still able to survive, so they changed it to a brain tumor.
Yeah.
It was kind of ironic. The world's most smartest man's brain was killing him. Also, just as well, just to go back, just to bring this point back full circle to what Stephen was saying about sort of too many Batman issues. One of the reasons the Ultimate series was launched was there were too many Spider-Man issues. There was Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man. Too many going on. So if you wanted to read on a weekly basis what Spider-Man was up to, you had to fucking buy all these comics.
Plus all the Avengers ones, right? I'm
Yes.
sure there's tons of those.
And he appeared in the X-Men for a bit. Like,
Jesus.
So what it did was just one fucking Spider-Man comic written by Brian Michael Bendis, who, without a doubt, one of the best comic book writers of all fucking time.
Oh, definitely. Brian Bendis, J. Michael Straczynski.
Yeah.
All of them.
Top
fucking
three,
geniuses.
Yeah, top three, but Bendis is definitely in of all time.
Yeah, who would be your top three?
I'd say my top three... Chris Claremont, you have to 15-year run at X-Men, never been done in any other series, never will be done again. 15 fucking years, and he established all the lore, backstories, and origins to all these characters. So Chris Claremont's probably the best comic book writer of all time. I mean, he very rarely did a shit series. Like, I mean, we could say, like, the obvious ones that come to mind is like Frank Miller and Alan Moore, but two of them have done some real shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
So so who's the first name you said? Sorry,
Chris Claremont.
So he's like pretty consistent with his content. Like,
Very, very consistent.
yeah, Frank Miller's done some shit. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
But he's done some fucking great stuff.
Yeah.
Come on, like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
like The Dark Knight Returns and Batman Year One.
The Killing Joke.
Yeah, no, that was Alan
that
Moore.
was Alamo.
Oh fuck.
No, it's gone. And he did Daredevil. Frank Miller's run on Daredevil is what we know the character for. Marvel were going to cancel the series. It was going nowhere. Miller said, look, this series is going to cancel. You can do whatever you want. And Miller did a legendary run.
Holy fuck.
That's what got him Batman,
Can I admit something weird to you?
right?
I have the original Ben Affleck Daredevil on DVD.
And you love it.
No, I've watched the special feature documentary about how they created Daredevil and Frank Miller's run on Daredevil and everything more than I've watched the actual movie.
No way.
There was a really, really good documentary on that DVD.
Yeah,
And
Stan Lee-
the bonus features. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but Stan Lee said he was afraid when he created the character because he wanted to create a character who couldn't do something that we couldn't do. He couldn't do something that everyone else could do. It was a nice wee twist on the sort of standard superhero. But he said he was terrified that disability organisations in America were going to write him criticising him, but they actually read him, thanking him for really
giving them a hero, right?
exactly,
Like,
yeah. So. I mean, Daredevil, like, it's kind of cool. Just to go even go back to a point we were saying earlier about sort of B+ players in the Marvel comics. Daredevil, for years, was an A+ character. I mean, he was a top-selling, beloved comic book character in Marvel. Like, one of the top characters, without a doubt. Like, I mean, such a gritty, cool. Like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that's where they got the inspiration from. The hand.
Well, I think that I don't think it was an inspiration. I think it was more of a jab at Marvel.
Yeah.
That his origin story caused the origin story of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
How so?
Right. In the first issue,
Just want to get ready to get your mind blown.
see if you can get up the page. Right. In the first issue of Daredevil,
Okay.
a young Matt Murdock is running about. I don't know what's the cause of. Oh no, he was trying to save an old man. An old man was crossing the street and a truck full of nuclear waste was barraging towards him.
No way. Okay.
And so little Matt Murdock jumps out and saves the man, but gets this chemical waste in his eyes.
Makes him go blind.
That makes him go blind. But he gives him extraordinary
senses.
stamina and dexterity and all that
Hearing.
bullshit. Okay? That's Daredevil. The first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles involves 4 turtles in a sewer with a rat. Above them, an old man is crossing the road.
Holy shit.
A truck is barreling towards him. A young man jumps out and saves him. The truck overturns. Nuclear waste is spilling all over the place, and that drips into the sewer.
That's incredible. And that is how they were born.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So they
Here's
just,
an offshore.
Did they just like steal that whole thing? Their whole story?
Well, it's... How do you know it's stealing? Did it say it was Matt Murdock
No.
that saved the man?
No. But it is.
No, yeah, well...
That's up for debate.
It's referencing.
Okay. That's cool though. I like that.
No, it's very cool.
That is cool.
No, guys, I think we'll call it a day on this episode. This has been a really good episode. Steve, thanks very much for coming on. Seriously.
Thanks,
I will link your YouTube and your Twitter channel in the description below. So,
Please do. I desperately need it.
So, guys, thanks very much for joining us. Peace out.
Fuck you.